Imagine this. It's a sweltering summer afternoon in a bustling border town. Families grabbing quick bites after a day at the zoo. Kids laughing over fries, and friends catching up over shakes. The air smells like golden arches and fresh soda pure Americana. Then, in an instant, everything shatters into chaos that no one saw coming. This is the story of a quiet Wednesday that turned into one of the most heart-wrenching tragedies in our nation's history, a reminder of how fragile peace can be. Welcome back to Crime Justice, where we dive deep into real cases that demand answers and honor the lives forever changed. Today, we're revisiting the events at the McDonald's in San Ysidro, California, on July 18, 1984, a day that tested a community's strength and reshaped how we respond to crisis. Picture San Ysidro in the summer of '84, a vibrant neighborhood just north of the U.S.-Mexico border in San Diego County, where the sun beats down on palm-lined streets and the hum of everyday life fills the air. It's home to families from all walks, working folks, retirees, young parents, and kids dreaming big. The McDonald's on San Ysidro Boulevard is the heart of it all, a classic spot with its red and yellow sign glowing like a beacon. On this particular Wednesday, the parking lot is packed with cars from a morning rush that spilled into lunch hour. Inside, the restaurant buzzes with about 45 customers and staff, the kind of diverse crowd that makes America special, a group of church friends celebrating a birthday, a family of 6 fresh from the zoo, a young couple on a casual date, and even a few locals stopping in for their usual roto. The air conditioning hums against the 90-degree heat outside, and the sizzle of burgers on the grill mixes with chatter and the ding of the drive-through bell. No one knows it yet, but this ordinary spot is about to become the center of unimaginable sorrow. Let's meet just a few of the everyday heroes and souls who were there that day. People whose stories pull at the heartstrings and show the humanity behind the headlines. There was 11-year-old Carlos Reyes, a bright-eyed boy with a love for baseball, out with his dad and siblings for a simple treat after school, let out early. Nearby, 76-year-old Ida Coladangelo, a grandmotherly figure known for her warm smile and volunteer work at her church, sat with her daughter and granddaughter, sharing stories over coffee. Then there's 19-year-old Aurora Gutierrez, recent high school grad full of dreams about starting college and traveling the world, grabbing lunch with her boyfriend before heading to her shift. Don't forget 25-year-old Jackie Lee Thompson, single mom and nursing student, treating her 2 young boys to ice cream sundaes as a midweek surprise. And 37-year-old Victoriano Montoya, a hard-working father of 3, stopping in with his wife and kids after a long morning running errands. These weren't just names on a list, they were teachers, streamers, parents, and friends, woven into the fabric of their community, each with plans for the evening ahead. Baseball games, family dinners, quiet nights at home. Their presence that afternoon painted a picture of normalcy, the kind we all cherish. As the clock ticked toward 4 p.m., the doors swung open, and in walked 41-year-old James Oliver Huberty, a tall man with a mustache and a slight limp from childhood polio. Dressed in a maroon short-sleeved shirt, green camouflage pants, and carrying a large gray gym bag slung over his shoulder. He'd driven his black 1970 Mercury Marquise just 200 yards from his nearby apartment at the Cottonwood Park complex, after a morning that seemed unremarkable. Huberty had spent the day with his wife Etna and their 2 young daughters, Zelia and Cassandra, visiting the San Diego Zoo, where the family strolled exhibits and shared a picnic lunch. But beneath the surface, tension simmered. Huberty, originally from Ohio, had a life marked by setbacks. A stable welding job lost to layoffs in 1982, a move to Mexico that soured quickly, and a recent firing from his security guard post just 8 days earlier due to shaky hands and unsteady performance. He'd even reached out to a mental health clinic the day before, leaving a message for help that went unreturned due to a simple clerical mix-up, his name misspelled as Huberty and flagged as non-urgent. Huberty paused briefly at the counter, scanning the room with what witnesses later described as a cold, deliberate gaze. Without a word, unzipped the bag and pulled out his first weapon, 9mm Browning high-power semi-automatic pistol loaded with 15 rounds. At exactly 4 p.m., he raised it and began firing methodically, the sharp cracks echoing off the tile floors and shattering the lunchtime calm. His first shot struck a 16-year-old employee, Alberto Leos, who slumped behind the counter, followed by blasts toward a group of 8 churchgoers at a birthday party in the southeast DINING area. Their joyful chatter cut short as 3 fell instantly, including 62-year-old Juanita P. Luna and her 9-year-old grandson, Rene. Huberty reloaded seamlessly, his movements practiced from years of target shooting and gunsmithing hobbies, and turned toward the kitchen, where staff like 18-year-old Elsa Borbola tried to dive for cover amid the steam and grease. The violence spilled outside as Huberty burst through the north doors, spotting a young father, 28-year-old Miguel Fierro, just pulled up with his family. He fired at the car, striking Fierro's wife and 10-month-old son before turning back inside. Over the next frantic minutes, he crisscrossed the restaurant, a 7,300-square-foot space, now a maze of overturned chairs and broken glass. At 4:07 p.m., grabbed a 12-gauge Ithaca Magnum shotgun from the bag custom fitted for rapid fire and unleashed buckshot into the play area, where 11-year-old Keith Jesse Ford Jr. and his 9-year-old sister Carla had hidden under tables. The blasts tore through walls and bodies alike. By 4:10, he'd switched to a .45 caliber Uzi carbine, its high rate of fire turning the West Side Lounge into a deadly trap. Here, 19-year-old Maricela Castro and her 17-year-old sister Sylvia, along with their friend 18-year-old Angela Barnes, were among those caught in the hail of bullets. Screams filled the air as survivors barricaded themselves in the freezer or crawled under counters. Outside, 24-year-old postal worker Frank T. Perez had just parked his truck when the gunfire erupted. He grabbed his own pistol and exchanged shots with Huberty through the window, wounding him slightly in the leg before being fatally struck himself. Huberty, undeterred, moved to the parking lot, firing at fleeing customers and even a distant school bus, shattering its windows, but mercifully missing the children inside. Back indoors by 4:20, he reloaded the Uzi and prowled the bloodied aisles, pausing to drink spilled soda from the floor in a chilling display of detachment. One survivor, 15-year-old John Flores, later recalled hiding behind a cigarette machine, heart pounding as Huberty stepped inches away, muttering to himself before moving on. The assault continued relentlessly. At 4:35, he targeted the drive-thru area, killing 20-year-old Tony Perez as he tried to shield his girlfriend. By 4:45, with the restaurant a scene of devastation, bodies slumped over booths, shattered Happy Meal toys scattered like confetti, Huberty had exhausted several magazines, the floor slick with tragedy. All the while, the outside world was scrambling. The first 911 call came in at 4:08 p.m. from a nearby business owner who'd heard the pops mistaken for firecrackers at first. San Diego police officers arrived within minutes, but the lack of clear reports on an active threat led to hesitation. They took cover behind patrol cars, unsure if it was a robbery gone wrong or something far worse. SWAT teams mobilized, surrounding the building by 4:30 as helicopters buzzed overhead and ambulances staged at a safe distance. Inside, the cries of the wounded pierced the silence between bursts. 19-year-old Guadalupe Del Rio, shot while trying to call for help, whispered pleas to her sister before fading. Huberty, now sporting a bandana over his face to shield from tear gas attempts, taunted responders through broken windows, tackling challenges that echoed his growing paranoia about a world gone mad. The clock pushed past 5 p.m. The situation reached a boiling point. Police negotiators tried hailing Huberty via loudspeaker, offering safe passage if he surrendered. But he responded with more gunfire, striking an officer's car. The decision came down to precision. At 5:17 p.m., after 77 agonizing minutes, SWAT sniper Charles Chuck Foster, positioned on the roof of a nearby post office, peered through his scope. Through the south side window, he spotted Huberty reloading near the center counter. Foster's single .243 Winchester round struck Huberty in the chest, ending the rampage instantly. He collapsed amid the wreckage, his weapons clattering to the floor. Medics and officers rushed in at 5:20, securing the scene amid the haze of smoke and sorrow, pulling survivors from hiding spots and tending to the injured on the blood-soaked tile. In the hours that followed, investigators pieced together the puzzle with forensic precision, turning the McDonald's into a massive crime scene canvas. San Diego County Sheriff's Department led the charge, cataloging over 250 spent casings from Huberty's arsenal. The pistol with 40 rounds fired, the shotgun's 40 shells, and the Uzi's 90 bullets, plus unused ammo in his bag. Autopsies on the 21 lives lost confirmed the devastation, victims ranging from 4 months old and unborn child of 18-year-old victim Blythe Merrill to 76 years, including names like 4-year-old Gloria Jean Darcy, shot while playing, 62-year-old Mary E. Preston, a beloved school crossing guard, and 25-year-old Aine Velasco, a waitress who just waved goodbye to her husband. The 19 wounded, many critically, were rushed to hospitals like Paradise Valley, where surgeons worked through the night. Ballistics traced every weapon to legal purchases, revealing Huberty's obsession. He owned over a dozen firearms, stockpiled for what he called the end times. Interviews with neighbors painted a portrait of a man unraveling. Paranoid rants about government conspiracies, violent outbursts at home, and that unreturned clinic call from July 17th, which a task force later deemed a missed opportunity for intervention. No manifesto was found, but notes in his apartment spoke of despair. And toxicology showed no drugs or alcohol in his system, just a mind frayed by untreated turmoil. But here's where the layers peel back, revealing twists that still haunt experts today. Digging into Huberty's past uncovered a trail of red flags ignored. Childhood bullying over his limp, a marriage strained by his explosive temper. Etna once reported a beating that left her jaw fractured, and professional nosedives from embalmer to welder to unemployed drifter. The family's 1983 move to Tijuana was meant as a fresh start, but poverty and isolation amplified his delusions. He even foresaw hunting humans in tarot readings his wife performed to soothe him. The real gut punch revelation is that mental health hotline, log misspelled name. No callback sparked a national reckoning on crisis response. Investigators found Huberty had cycled to a local park with his family the night before, watching fireworks, yet confided to Etna his belief that society had its chance. Post-incident psych profiles diagnosed severe paranoid schizophrenia and treated for years, clashing with his outward image as a family man. And in an eerie footnote, just weeks prior, Huberty had practiced at a shooting range, honing skills that turned deadly. These threads wove a tapestry of a tragedy foretold, yet averted by no one, challenging us to ask, how many signs do we miss before it's too late? Justice came swiftly but bittersweet, a closure wrapped in collective grief. Huberty's body was autopsied and buried quietly in Ohio, his family retreating from the spotlight. Etna later spoke of his loving side, but faced scrutiny over the domestic reports. The 21 victims were laid to rest in ceremonies that united San Ysidro, vigils at Mount Olive Lutheran Church, where 11-year-old Carlos's Little League team honored him with empty jerseys on the field. Fundraisers for the wounded, like 15-year-old John Flores, who survived a gut shot and went on to advocate for gun safety. The McDonald's was demolished within weeks, replaced by a memorial park in 1986 now, the Mountain Everest Memorial. With 21 plaques under jacaranda trees, a fountain symbolizing flowing tears, and a pathway etched with Y. Legally, no charges beyond the inherent end to Huberty's actions. But the event catalyzed change, faster SWAT deployments, mandatory mental health callbacks within hours, and even McDonald's bolstering employee training for emergencies. For the survivors, those scarred physically and emotionally, support groups formed, turning pain into purpose. San Ysidro rebuilt, its spirit unbroken, a testament to resilience that echoes across America. This wasn't just an end. It was a call to vigilance, ensuring no family endures such loss without lessons learned. What do you think was the biggest missed opportunity in this heartbreaking story? The clinic call, or something deeper in Huberty's life? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've ever wondered how one decision can ripple through generations, share a story from your own experiences. We're all in this together. Finally, who's someone in your life that reminds you to check in more often? Let us know. If this deep dive moved you, hit that subscribe button for more unfiltered looks at cases that shaped justice in America. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload from Crime Justice. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay curious, and remember, awareness saves lives. See you next time.